welcome to another video by George's Shed. And this is the first video of my flight simulator build. And what I've probably already done is shown pictures of what I've done to get this far. But from now on, as I explained in the previous video, I'm going to try and video it more and show me doing more of it. So as you can see, what I've got already is the main instrument panel. We've got the centre panel, if you want to call it, and we have the captain's main instrument. So here's the other side, and as you can see, there is no monitor in it. So the monitor I ordered has arrived today, so we're going to go and fit the monitor into this panel and finish off the main instrument panel and hopefully get it all working and looking good. Okay, so here we are in the shed, and as you can see, here's our panel that doesn't have a monitor in, and then we obviously have the other two that have already been fitted. So I cut all the windows out for the panels using the table saw to cut the long edges by putting it on the table and then lifting the blade up through the wood. And then for shorter sections I used the Dremel with the cut-off wheel, and then I used the file to get the nice round edges. So here is our lovely monitor. This is a 17-inch monitor, and the resolution is 1920 by 1024, I think, off the top of my head. And obviously what we need to do is, because these monitors have a bezel on, which means that the actual screen will be further away from the wood than we would like. We're going to take it off, and also this makes it easier to mount. So I'm just going to find a screwdriver to fit the monitor, and now we can take the case off the monitor. This looks like we have two screws at the bottom holding the case together, and if the bit stays in my screwdriver, then hopefully I'll be able to get these out. So those two are now undone. And now I'm just going to look for any other screws, but most of the time these monitors mostly prise apart, which it looks like is the same with this. So I'm just going to get a flathead screwdriver and then start prising away. And I've already broken the case, which isn't good. So slowly but surely it's coming apart. Okay, so there is the back of our monitor removed. So here's the internal guts. So there are lots more screws which attach the front bezel to the case. So we will undo them. Okay, so now we have got most of the screws out, so the monitor, the actual screen should come out of the thing. But also, on a safety note, when you're taking apart mains electronics, you always need to watch out for big capacitors, because they can give you quite a large shock if they're charged up. 99% of the time, they should be discharged, and this monitor I reckon's not been plugged in for a while, so I'm pretty certain it is unplugged. But I don't want the risk of this capacitor is rated for 450 volts, so I do not want 450 volts to run through me. So what you can do is, if you get something metal, so for example a screwdriver, and touch the leads of the capacitor together, then it should discharge the capacitor and make it somewhat safe to work on. But try not to touch the metal contacts on the bottom of the circuit board, because you might get a nasty surprise. Okay, so now we can try and lift out the monitor from its case. And there's a little control board down here that we need to unclip. So there we go, and we can also unplug the speakers, since we won't be needing them. So there we go, we now should be able to lift the monitor clean out, and there we go. So here we have one lovely monitor that will fit nicely into this panel. So the speakers in this monitor case will go to some other good use, I'm sure. So now what we need to do is, now the case is out, we need to go back to my computer and plug it in and get both of the monitors, because in my setup these two monitors are just on a splitter, so they get the exact same signals. So I'm going to line the instruments up with that monitor there, and then we are going to match this monitor up and then draw around it, so we know where our instruments are going to be, so that they line up with the holes, and then we can mount it to the board. So let's go back to the simulator. Okay, so once you've mounted your tellies a bit better and one hasn't fallen off and smashed, then you can mount your final monitor. So because, as I've already said, I think these two monitors are simply connected in a wire harness, so they get the exact same signal. That one's already mounted, so we need to make sure that this monitor lines up with the instrument underneath, and then you can just draw around the outline of the monitor, and then we can take it down to the shed and then mount it properly. Okay, so we're back in the shed, and here is our monitor that we need to mount. So because this is really thin board, we can't really screw into it, and I don't want to screw into it from the other side, because obviously then you'd have a screw head on the other side, and we want this to be as accurate as possible. So what we've got to do is we've got to glue these little mounting blocks onto the board around the monitor, and then as you can see on this one, we can put a strip of wood across it to hold the monitor. Okay, so next I'm going to make a plate that goes over here, which holds the monitor in place, and then I can also attach it to have like a main spar going across to attach this area to the rest of it a lot stronger. So I'm just going to go and make that. Okay, so now I've cut this panel which slots in nicely here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen it using this piece of wood, and then what I'm going to do is, after this piece has been strengthened, I'm going to put a bit from here all the way across and under this monitor, and onto the other side as the main sort of spar holding it all together. So how I'm going to do this is I'm going to screw and glue this from this side, put it on, and then I can put a screw there, and then some screws here, and then I'm going to put another bar which starts here and goes all the way across, which is going to be glued and screwed to this here and this main bar to ensure a nice sturdy connection. So I'm just going to do that now. Okay, so instead of using this piece that I originally said, I realised that that was too thick and you wouldn't be able to plug into the sockets. And I was going to do it the full length, but then you wouldn't have been able to plug into the power socket either. So I ended up cutting this thinner strip and gluing and screwing that on instead. So now I'm going to attach this, but first I'm just going to make sure the monitor is properly aligned, which it is. So just going to screw that on. Okay, so now that that's attached, so now I'm going to make a piece that will go all the way across here and hopefully attach everything. Okay, so now we've done our main panel, which is there, and the glue's just drying. We need to make the stand for it. So at some point I'll get round to writing out all the measurements of this, but the panel in the middle, which I'll show you. So this panel here, from side to side, needs to be 59 centimeters wide. So that means that our mounting bracket needs to be 50. No, sorry, this is 59 centimeters wide, so the stand needs to be 59 centimeters wide as well. And the two things I've already got, which I've had for a while, these are 9 centimeters wide for both of them, so that means we need cross pieces of 50 centimeters or half a meter. So as well, this the panel needs to be mounted at a 20-degree angle, so I need to figure out how to do that. So first what I'll do is I'll make the 50 centimeter cross braces so we've got a more rigid stand. Okay, so I'll just do that now. Okay, so I just cut this piece which has got a 20-degree angle on it. So this is going to attach on here like that, and then the panel is going to obviously mount to this piece there. So what I'll do is screw this on here, and then I'll try and attach it to the panel.